Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where our mission is to provide education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. USA Global TV and Radio connects you with experts and audiences all around the world every single day to help you succeed in business and to live a richer life. Visit us at usaglobaltv.com to learn about career and life-changing training and mentoring programs like the Listening Mentor. Subscribe to our newsletter to stay informed about our special programs and offers. Discover how you can become a guest on one of our shows or a host or producer of a USA Global TV and Radio show of your very own. That's USA Global TV and Radio, where the doctor is always in.
Hello and welcome to Intentional Productivity Tips. I am your very favorite strategic productivity partner. My name is Megan and I am so glad to be with you this week. This week you are watching me on USA Global TV and Radio, where you can find my show on the YouTube channel and website, and you can find a whole host of other shows that are informative, educational, and are going to help you live your best life. So, what are we going to talk about today? I am excited about today's topic, as I am every week, but I think today's topic truly is timely and something we can all benefit from talking about. It's something timely because it's this time of year. What we're going to talk about this week is intentional holiday planning. We are specifically going to talk about low stress, high fun. We're going to talk about crafting holiday harmony without the chaos. I have a presentation that I am going to put together for us that I am going to show right now. That is going to help us walk through, again, crafting a low stress and a high fun productivity holiday. So let me go and show that right now. Okay, so, all right. So, lesson learned. We are not going to have the presentation tonight. I am running into some challenges, and I'm going to be honest and authentic with you all. So, as you all know, my Pro Intentional Productivity Tips has been around for almost 2 months now. And so we've done about 11 shows. Almost 3 months. My counting is off. And I'm going to tell you something really exciting that I have done over the past couple of weeks. What I have done is I have started to produce the show for myself. And so it's a learning opportunity. And one of the great things we know about learning opportunities is with opportunities, we can also have some challenges. So today we are not going to have slides for our presentation because that's what the universe has in store for us today. So we're just going to move forward. But what we're going to talk about is I am going to walk through some tips with you that are talking about planning for a low stress, high fun holiday experience. We have two things we're going to talk about. We are going to be talking about intentional holiday planning, and we are also going to be talking about our weekly productivity tip, which is your you list. So I'm looking forward to doing that. So let's get started and talk about the very first thing. As we're talking about this time between now and the beginning of January, right? So we're just starting November, and we've got from November till the beginning of January. And one of the things that we know is that there are 3,872 holidays. Literally, I looked it up, and you don't have to doubt me on that. No, I'm joking. But we do know that there are a lot of holidays, a lot of times of celebration, tradition, and opportunities to come together. So today, we just want to start thinking about it for a few minutes. We want to think about what can we do now so we're intentionally preparing for our holidays? What can we do now so that we have a peace-filled holiday experience? So I'm going to walk you through a couple things right now. As I mentioned before, I do have a slide presentation that we're not showing, but I am going to post it on my LinkedIn page. I will be posting it on my LinkedIn page on Monday. And so if you would like to see this presentation, please, you can find me on my LinkedIn page, as you can see it right here. I'm at linkedin.com, Megan Sandwick, down with SPP. You can also find me, and if you have any questions, please feel you can always email me at megan@indelible.global. Okay, so what are the steps we're going to take to have a great intentional productivity? It just comes so naturally now. I need to. So we can have an intentional peace-filled holiday experience. The first place we want to start is by visualizing it, right? If we see it, we can believe it. If we see it and believe it, we can achieve it. So one of the things that we want to do is we want to picture, what do we expect our holiday experience to be this year? What do we want it to be? Do we want to do a lot of things with people? Do we want it to be quiet? Do we want to go all out and do big decorating for a specific holiday? Do we not want to do any of it? It's okay. Whatever you choose, you can't have a wrong answer. That's the good news. So what you want to do is you want to think about, picture it. What do I want my holidays to look like this year? Then after that, it's about calendar management. It's about looking at, okay, so we know over the next couple of months, there are some specific dates that have events. We know there's going to be maybe some parties, events, children's performances, musicals we want to go to, shopping, events or holidays. I just moved to a new area and there's all these cool festivals, holiday craft festivals that we want to go to. So what you want to do is you want to take a minute and manage your calendar and say, this season, I'm not only going to be intentional and picture what I want, but I also am going to manage my calendar and say, these are the things I want to do this year. And then we're going to make it on our calendar. Because the other thing is we also want to identify for ourselves, when are we going to have balance? When are we going to have quiet time? Do we want to do something every day in December? Do we want to do something every day in November? Or do we want it to be mellow? Do we want some days off? Do we want Sundays off to be able to watch football? What is it that we want? It doesn't matter the answer. We just need to identify, how are we going to manage our calendar? Then once we manage our calendar, are we prepared for the events on the calendar? This is something that, as I've worked with clients over the last couple of years, this time of year, I start to bring up, okay, it's the holiday season. What are we going to do? How are we going to be prepared? And one of the things that I always say is, okay, now that we have the events, what do we need to do to prepare for the events? Do you need to get a special outfit? Is it an ugly Christmas sweater? Is it a 80s party? Is it a formal event? What is the themes that you need to be able to wear? You want to, again, once you have your calendar managed, you want to start to manage the events. Do you need to make something? Do you need to order food? Do you need to, for me, it's always going to be, can I bring soda or can I bring paper plates and plastic silverware? I don't cook. And so, or can I buy pizza? So we want to be, it's important sometimes with holidays, you need to get on that list quickly. I've learned people are starting to grab my drinks order, and that is not okay. So during the holidays, we want to take time and say, how do we want to manage our calendar and our time? How do we want to manage the events? Are we ready for them? And then the next thing we want to look at, are we ready? What is our atmosphere going to look like? What is the places around us going to look like, right? We want to identify, is there a holiday we want to decorate for? Is there any decorations or treats we want to have? Are there gifts? What do we want the atmosphere to be? Is there music we want to hear? I'm going to be honest with you. Holiday music is my jam. Listen to it all year round, right? Listen to it all the time. And so, but during the holiday season, I love to hear Christmas music. And so it's about the atmosphere, it's candles, it's what do you want your holiday season atmosphere to be like, right? We know it's going to be busy. We know we have all of the trappings of our regular life. We have work, we have family, friends. Now we've added this other huge component. And so how can we make our atmosphere something that's exciting and feels good for us so that, again, we're intentionally having a peace-filled holiday season? So we want to take time and think about, again, our atmosphere, our calendar. Then we want to start to identify, what are the traditions and things we're going to do for ourselves, right? We want to start to think, are there gifts we need to buy? Are there cards or crafts we're going to make? Are there cookies or food we're going to make? Are we going to make tamales? When you think about this season, there's so many traditions with people around, like food and things we do. So we want to be prepared for that. And then we want to start to make our own traditions. We want to start to say, okay, here's the traditions we have with others, but what are the holiday traditions and what are the things you're doing for yourself? How are you celebrating you? I'm going to tell you one of my very favorite holiday traditions. I actually started in 1997. I have been my own Secret Santa since the mid 90s, because as I've mentioned before, I've been working in a remote office off and on. I started working remotely in the 90s. And so at that point, I had my home office, and one of my coworkers, he had his home office. And so we would merge every year and we would have our home office Christmas parties together. But the best thing is we would depending on where we were working at the time, we would go to we would go out to a fancy restaurant in whatever town we were working. It's when we were traveling, implementing contracts. And so we had a lot of fun. The other thing that we did is we became our own secret Santas. And so when we were traveling and we were at different offices around the holidays, we brought our own secret Santa stuff. So I am going to be honest with you. I've been my own secret Santa since 1997. I love every year. One of my personal holiday traditions is to have a home office Christmas party. Sometimes I might invite somebody, but a lot of times I'm going to be honest with you, it is myself. And so this is one thing I'm sad that you're not going to see on the presentation, because I have some great pictures of my holiday Christmas presentation, of my holiday Secret Santa event and my holiday home office Christmas party. And I will be honest with you, I already have my Secret Santa gift for this year. So I cannot wait for December to get here. I have an Erin Condren 12 days of stationary advent calendar. I mean, is there anything better than a stationary advent calendar? So when it comes to intentional, peace-filled holidays, it's not only about the calendar and being prepared for the events. It's not only about the atmosphere and taking care of your surroundings, but it's also about the traditions that you create with others and the traditions that you have yourself. And so what I would say is, we're thinking about all of that. Take some time and identify. My challenge to you over the next couple of days is to take some time to identify how you are going to spend time for yourself and for others to make this next couple of months as peace-filled as possible. There's a lot of opportunities to celebrate, a lot of traditions we can be involved in, and we want to be there peace-filled. We want to be able to be present. When we're talking about that, one of the things that we need to do is we need to think about and identify what is it that we can do for ourselves. The holidays is about ourselves and it's about others. Yes, I did say that. Some of you might think the holidays aren't about us. And we know we're celebrating something bigger than us, right? But it's our season and we need to figure out how we want to be present for it. So if we've got the mindset of what can we do to intentionally plan this holiday season, I'll tell you one of the things that I've done is I've blocked off 2 afternoons in December that I'm going to take off of work. I already am excited. I'm going to go on hikes, and I love to go on hikes or walks or be in different places and take a million pictures and see what the area is. So I've already blocked, because that is something that it helps me to focus. It revitalizes my mind. So I've already scheduled time like that in December. My challenge to you is to take time right now and identify how you can make this holiday season exciting, fun, peace-filled, and festive. I have a quote for you. This is by somebody very smart, again, Sandwick, me. But it's important why I want you to think about, why is it that we're talking about peace-filled and being so peaceful during the holiday season? So I have a quote by someone smart, as I said, Megan Sandwick, and it is, "Boundaries are the gateway to peace. They allow us to celebrate the holidays with joy and intention rather than overwhelm." Boundaries are the gateway to peace. They allow us to celebrate the holidays with joy and intention rather than overwhelm. Why I want to spend so much time thinking about the holidays right now is because I want for us to identify how we can set peace-filled experiences for us, so we can also identify any boundaries that we need to set. That might be things like including, like, you know what, that party or event sounds great. I'm not going to be able to come because I'm doing something else. Now, that something else could be I'm staying home and watching TV, but I'm taking care of myself. We don't have to tell people what we're doing, right? We just need to identify that this time of season, intentional planning and boundaries and setting expectations is going to be how we have a great holiday, because we're able to picture it. We're able to make it happen. So, a review. How are we going to make this turn our holiday season make sure that it is not chaos. How can we make sure that it's peace-filled? We are going to visualize it. We're going to look at our calendar management. We're going to look at how many events and what we're doing over the next couple of days. We're going to set some boundaries for ourselves and set expectations for others to say, hey, I appreciate you. I'm not going to be able to join this experience, and that's okay. We're going to set our calendars, and we're going to also be prepared for our events. What do we need to have for them so that we've got it in advance and we're not running to a store on the way to the event? We're also going to look at our surroundings and our atmosphere. What's around us? What is the holiday feel going to be? Is there music? Are we watching movies? Is there a place we want to go? Decorations, cooking, making cookies, whatever it might be. What are those atmosphere things we want to have around us? Then what traditions are you going to start for you? How are you going to celebrate for you? As I mentioned, I've been my own Secret Santa for a very, very long time, and I already have a holiday party planned and a gift for myself for this year. So that's how I'm going to be celebrating. Take some time. Now that you're thinking about it, my goal for you every week is to take one thing away. And the one thing away I would say this week is please take some time and think about your holidays. Think about what you want them to do and how you want to make them exciting for you and how you want that experience to be. Because once you visualize it, you can set expectations for yourself and others so you have a peace-filled holiday season. Let's talk about this week's productivity quick tip. So this week's productivity quick tip is very similar to part of the holiday experience, where it's about thinking of your you list. So what is a you list? Your you list is a list of things for yourself where you can recognize yourself, reward yourself, where if you need something, if you need a perk, a lift up, if you're feeling down. So your you list is a place for you to create experiences for you that help you when you need, right? I get it. I've said a you too many times. But the whole idea of a you list is to be able to say, I want to treat myself right. I work hard. I deserve to be able to be treated right. I work hard. I'm going to play hard. I work hard. I'm going to rest hard, whatever it is. It's also about having a happiness boost, right? Because when we do things for ourselves after we've worked hard, we feel good, and we should. It's about reducing stress. It's about saying, hey, I'm going to take a few minutes and do something that makes me happy, that makes me feel good. It's about creating memories. And when we think about it, creating memorable experiences is super powerful. So what's on your you list? I'm going to give you some examples of my you list. So some things that I've mentioned. Some things that I have on my you list are including logging off and taking a walk, logging off of work and going on an experience. Maybe going out to lunch and having a glass of champagne. Maybe it's a massage or a pedicure. Maybe it's taking an afternoon off and reading a book. One of my clients on their you list they're going to sleep in. That they're going to cancel a morning and they're just going to sleep in and lounge around in bed. So your you list, another one of my clients loves doing puzzles, but doesn't want to spend too much time with them. So one of the things he does is he recognizes himself when he hits certain accomplishments and milestones, he'll hang out and do puzzles with do puzzles and have his family join him. And so it's about finding things. Your you list is about saying, what can I do for me? We're in a busy world. We're in a fast-paced world where there's so much going on, where we have so many responsibilities, where we're accessible 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So as a balance to that, we need to have a you list, and we need to have a list that we can say, okay, it is time for me, and it is time for me to do something. And so that is what we want to do with our you list. So this week's productivity quick tip for the week is having a you list for yourself. As I mentioned, my name is Megan. I'm your very favorite strategic productivity partner. And today's episode of Intentional Productivity Tips, as I mentioned, has been a learning lesson for me as well as for you, as I'm producing an episode and learning how to do it as I go. Why am I sharing that? Because I want to talk about learning experiences. Part of being productive is having space and time in our lives to learn new things. And that's what I'm doing right now. So as we're talking about how you can take care of your productivity, I encourage you to stop. I encourage you to breathe and be present. I encourage you to take time to figure out how how this holiday season and this next couple of months can be peace-filled for you so you have the experience you want. Productivity quick tip, your you list. Have a list of things that you can do for yourself to recognize yourself. Golfing, maybe going roller skating, whatever it is, places and things you can do for yourself. As I mentioned, I am Megan. I am your very favorite strategic productivity partner. You have been watching me and can watch me every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific on USA Global TV and Radio. You can find us and you can find me and many other shows there. I want to thank you for spending this time with me. I want to say I will see you next week at the same place, at the same time, and we will be talking about more productivity tips. My goal for you is to learn one thing you can take into your life this week. And now, a word from our sponsors.